We have here verse 28 of the 7th chapter of the Gospel of John. Jesus there in the temple has attracted the attention of the religious leaders, and they, of course, are speculating about Jesus and his identity and where he's from and so on, and even the crowds that are participating are speculating as to exactly what is going on. Is it possible that the religious leaders are actually persuaded that Jesus is the Messiah? And if so, then that doesn't square with other ideas that are in the minds of these people who are watching. And in the middle of this, rather abruptly, we have John indicating that the next event is rather dramatic. Ekroxen, to cry out. It's the word kradzo. I cry out, I scream, really, is a sense of it. It's a very dramatic word. This is the third person singular aorist active indicative, ekroxen. Jesus cried out, therefore, apparently in response to this situation, a somewhat conflicted one, a somewhat confusing one, I suppose. Cried out, in to hiero, in the temple, didaskon, from didasko, I teach. This is the masculine singular nominative present participle. So while he was teaching, Jesus cries out in the midst of his teaching. The subject of the verb here is Jesus himself, and says, so he cries out in the same participle form, masculine singular nominative present participle, and cries out, kame. This is a combination of kai and me. It means and me, or and I is the idea. Here it's the object of the verb, oidata. So this is the second person plural perfect active indicative. You know, you knew, and continue to know. Me, the idea, and oidata, you know and continue to know, whence, pothen, a me, whence I am. In a sense, Jesus acknowledges that to some extent at least, they do know him. They do know where he's from. They do know something of his parentage. They know a little bit of that. They know his hometown and so on. And then he continues, kai ap emautu. The kai here is a normal conjunction, although it does, and commentators tend to view this as a little bit of an adversative use of this, almost as if it suggests the idea of but. So it's a little bit of a contrast we might read into it. It helps make sense of the rest of it. Ap, this is the preposition. Apo means from, takes the genitive, the reflexive pronoun. From myself, uk alelutha. This is the perfect of erkomai. It's the negation here suggesting I did not and have not come. So even though he's granting they know something of his background, at the same time he's pointing out to them that there is more that they don't know. Of myself, he says, I didn't come. But strong conjunction now, which in a sense gives a little bit of meaning to that kai back there. But it is alethenos. Alethenos is the word for true. It's an adjective, but it is true. Ho pimpsos, the having sent me. From pimpo, I send. This is the masculine singular aorist participle. And so the one who sent me is true. The me, the object of pimpo, and so hon, whom, the relative pronoun in the accusative, you, uk oidita, do not know, whom you do not know. I know this one. You do not know this one. So it's a complicated sentence. The long and short of it is that Jesus grants that they know something, but they don't know everything. They don't know the real story of Jesus. They know something of where he's from and so on. But then he adds to this that Jesus didn't come of himself. He didn't just come down here kind of on his own instincts, but that there is a greater one who has sent him, and the one who sent him is true, and that's the one they don't know. The reference to God the Father, of course, is in Jesus' mind here, and in some ways he's saying that while they might have some sense of Jesus and his identity, they're really missing the most important things that need to be known, namely the true origins of Jesus, the true identity of the one who sent him, and as a result of that, inferring from it the true meaning of the mission that he has undertaken to accomplish.